Andy Stevenson sitting alongside Solomon King Simon. You just told me that's your real name.
Yeah, so like my full name is like Solomon Eze Simon. So the Eze is like my Igbo name, that's like traditional name. So if I translate that to English, it's King. So I just stuck to it that way. So it's like Solomon King Simon.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Big fight coming up against Dorian Cliucinicov on Cage Wars 153 on Saturday the 29th of April. Big opportunity.
Yeah.
Cage Wars debut.
Yes. Looking forward to it. Like it's a good chance, and like my whole mindset for this year is just I just want to be active. So like just finished up in January there on Premiere, and when this opportunity came up, I was like, I'll just jump on it straight away, and then like just keep the activity going. So like a big show in Dublin, can't really ask for much better, because it's a nice way to get exposure yourself, so it's good.
Yeah, I think the last time I saw you in person was at Premiere, but after the Mario Di Stefano fight.
Yes.
And you were incredibly frustrated. You were like, I don't know if this might be it for the amateur for me. But it seems like it's turned out pretty well for you ever since then.
Yeah. Like the Mario one, like it's just, again, army wise, I look at it, it's always a learning experience. You're gaining little things, and I just felt like I go up and then I mess up somewhere else, and then it comes back down, and then I was just fluctuating too much. So I was just like, fuck, I've learned enough. I need to learn now. Let's just go to the big boys, and then we'll go like just pull everything in, and then that changes the mindset again, because there's a lot more at stake, if you know what I mean. So I have to take a lot more chances in different ways, and the time suits me better as well in the way I process things in there. So I think it was a good move, and that was a good fight to finish it off. So like not too stressed on it.
Yeah, you obviously transitioned over from amateur to pro, making your pro debut on Premiere against Nikola Ivanovic. You got the finish, so you got the win, got the finish. How did you find that overall experience? Obviously, going from 3-minute rounds to 5-minute rounds, amateur to pro, elbows are allowed. How did you find it? Like
the time, I liked the time. It was, but didn't feel like it was that much difference in regards to like if it's like the pace, the cardio, or whatever. Because like that's when I'm up here with the boys, like we're training like 5-minute rounds anyway. So it's like not too much different there, but like it's a different mindset. So you don't have to sprint as much to get your start. You could like take your time and build into it a lot easier than the amateur side of things, which is what I liked. So I could take my time, set up my things a lot easier, and like I don't have to rush things as much. So yeah, it was good. Really enjoyed it. And then elbows and things, I think still a bit to work on there, because you think it's just a straightforward, just start throwing stuff, but it's actually it's another game I have to build, which makes it exciting. So I have extra things to learn now.
Another art.
Yes.
Do you like throwing elbows?
So far, like I don't like taking elbows, but like I like throwing it.
Yeah, because it's funny. Like oftentimes when I've interviewed someone who says he's gone from amateur to pro, there's like a smile that comes on people's face. I remember interviewing John Mitchell, and like he just the smile on his face being like, I could throw elbows now.
But he likes violence. Like he actually he enjoys like just slicing people up. But like I'm trying to get better at throwing it without taking damage, because if you could throw elbows on them, obviously they could throw it on you at the same time. So just getting better at that range. But like it's a time, we'll get there.
Yeah, obviously your home base gym is down in Waterford with Bobby Mead and the guys at Team Ryano Waterford. Up at HQ, I imagine, are you doing a lot of training up here at the moment?
Yeah, I'll be here literally like every Saturday and Monday. I'm here anyway, and then I still have to work, so I have to go back to Waterford, get work, and then come back here and keep doing the same thing. But I'm here a lot, like, because that's where you're getting the heavy work, so it's good.
What you work as?
I'm like biotechnologist, so I'm like a QC chemist in Sanofi in Waterford. So I got them to give me time off, so I'm only working 3 days now. So just go there, make the money so I could pay the rent, and then come back.
Yeah.
This is the main thing we're looking for, but we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, so did you study chemistry or something?
I studied biotech in DCU, Dublin actually. Yeah. Actually, DCU is just down the road, yeah.
And do they know that you're a fighter?
Yes, like that, yes, they do.
Is that an awkward conversation at times? Or?
Yeah, it's not too bad. Like it's awkward when they're trying to ask me stuff, and I'm like, but maybe
when you're cutting weight or
those kind of little things. But it's not that bad. Like I don't bring it up too often, but they know, and if you don't have to talk about it as much. Well, at least that's what I think.
Yeah, and like the goal, like you're very early on in your career in MMA. Is the goal to be able to do it full time, or would you like? Neil Seary is a prime example of someone who has always said you have to have a backup plan, and you can't, like, he maintained a full-time job throughout his career. When you envisage your your pro career, do you want to eventually be fighting full time, or would you look to kind of keep a job as well?
100% full time. Like that's where, like that's the vision. Like that's where I'm aiming for. And I think the backup side of things is I have that now. Like I have my degree. I have 4 or 5 years experience in the field now, so I always have that to go back on whenever I need to. And even ideally myself, like I'm doing the whole thing with the YouTube, the Instagram, we're just trying to promote myself as much as possible to build a life whereby I don't have to depend on work to do what I need to do anymore. So like the fighting, I'm in my head, I'm not even looking at it as a financial way out. I want to fight as like I actually enjoy the sport itself, and I'm trying to build as much as I can outside so that I could fight more. So like if I could get the freedom from my time where I don't have to work and go full time into this, as soon as that opportunity comes, I'm jumping on it. So but it's a slow process and we're getting there slowly, like so.
Yeah. Remind me, is this a one fight deal or a multi-fight?
One fight, which is good. My way I find it good, because I want to get like 5 fights this year, and like it's just as soon as this is over, I want to jump onto the next one, and then next year then I could start looking into like maybe taking it more, like aim for that belt, aim for that title. But for now, I just want to get the ball rolling. If I get 5 fights in, it's a lot easier, and that's a lot easier to do when you're not signed in, when you're not tied down to one.
Right, yeah, it's easier to stay active and jump to take fights here and there. There's a lot of opportunities now coming to Ireland where we've Cage Warriors this year, we've got PFL, we've got Bellator, you know, Octagon are talking about doing something as well. When you look at those, like, are you kind of keeping your options open at the moment? Do you have a particular preferred route that you would like to go in your career?
At the moment, options open. Long term, UFC. I think that's like where that's the biggest one. That's the one people know of the most. But it's not even. It's because people know of it the most. That's where you get the most notoriety, the most exposure. But like the PFL, ONE FC, there's so many organizations that the standard in there is very high anyway. So like, but the long-term vision is the UFC. But whatever happens in between, that doesn't hinder me from getting there. I'll take it. And right now, Cage Warriors is like nearly a direct path into that, the UFC side of things. So like, I think I would keep going. If I could get my 5 fights in, like sign to Cage Warriors at the end of the year, early next year, get their belt, go to the UFC. That's the easy way in, but it might not go as smoothly as that, but that's ideally what we're looking for.
Yeah. The first step is obviously Dorian Cliucinicov.
Exactly.
Your teammate Adam has already fought him, already beat him. Has he been giving you any pointers?
Well, like if I have long arms like him, then maybe I could take it. But
it's like grow your arms a bit longer for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, like I've seen the fight with Adam, and I've seen like so he fought Alex recently as well, and then he had another fight up on YouTube. I've seen that as well. I've seen a good few. I've watched him a few times, so like I have a rough idea how he plays, how he moves, what he likes to do, what he doesn't like to do, and like I have an answer to most of it. I think he just has to worry about me at this stage. Like I've seen most of his strengths, and in my head I have answers to it. But obviously when we get in there, that's when we actually start testing that out. But don't feel too threatened in many different ways. I think he's fairly decent overall, and like it's just, I have too much options. Like in my head, I'm not worried if it's standing. I'm not worried if it's on the cage. I'm not worried if it's on the ground. So I think it's a lot more limited than I am.
Obviously, your teammate Constantine Blanita was originally scheduled to face. Was this kind of like, right, I'm going to represent for Team Ryano and step in here?
It's a good opportunity, like, because I think constantly something came up, and then I couldn't take it, so it worked out a blessing in disguise for myself as well. So like, I think, and we'll go in as a team. Like we have 3 boys going in there now, and then we'll just go and make our statements, and then we'll keep building on to the next one then. Yeah,
where's the slagging worse? Is it Waterford or is it HQ?
HQ. I get it as well.
Did you have an initiation you had to come through now that you're up here more frequently?
It's like every time I'm on the mat, Andy's just bringing the camera and just finding new ways to slag me as well. So like, it's just like, but like you get used to it. It's a good, really good laugh. Like it's very enjoyable, and that's what I love about the atmosphere as well, because there's no seriousness. It's just like, obviously you're getting the work in, but at the same time you're having fun while you're doing that, which makes the work a lot easier to do. Like it's a lot more enjoyable. You're not like dreading coming to training or anything like that. And don't get me wrong, I get it in Waterford as well, but it's just over here, like they could fuck me up and slag me. So it's like it's double the trouble. So
you're kept on your toes anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you see the fight playing out? Are you one for predictions?
Like prediction wise, like I want to take him out in the first, like just for my own self, like because the last fight I like wanted to just go in there and just get the win, and I just did that. The safest route was what I did with Nick, right? In regards to, like, if I get on top, you're not getting me off you, and I will eventually get to where I need to get to. Here I'm willing to take a little bit more risk, like, and then just in that sense, if I take more risk, that means he's in a lot more danger as well. And if he wants to play that game with me, I could see myself taking him out in the first. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. And if it doesn't go out in the first, I don't really care. Either way, he's going out at some point.
Yeah. Just before we finish up as well, your brother's back fighting these days, so
yes.
he had a long layoff. Sam Simon fighting on the amateur scene at the moment. Is it nice to have him back?
Yes, no, very, because like I started because of him, really. Like this was 7, 8 years ago. Like he started, I jumped in, and then while I jumped in was when he got injured, and he was out for the throughout my whole career. He's been out, and then he came back, and now he's getting his momentum going again, which is very nice. And it's nice to have that atmosphere back in the gym in Watford then as well, like, because we're now starting to grow a solid team down there, and having him back definitely is an extra motivation again. And then again, we have other bodies there as well that's pushing me as well.
Yeah, so exciting times for the Simon family. Well, look,
yes.
Appreciate the time. All the best in your fight. Saturday 29th of April, Cage Wars 153, Solomon Simon versus Dorian Cliucinicov. Tune in on UFC Fight Pass, and if you haven't got a ticket yet, you can get them on ticketmaster.ie. Appreciate the time, and thank you.
Cheers.